18 months ago, the growing hype for the latest wave of expensive console hardware felt, at times, like it could have come a little too soon. After all, unlike the previous console generation, which was clearly well past its sell-by date by the end of Xbox 360's 8 years, PS4 and Xbox One have continued to thrive, with recent releases genuinely impressing with their stunning visuals and gameplay innovation. That's why, when the rumour mill started churning early last year, we held a healthy amount of cynicism over the genuine need for another pair of $500 boxes. Would new hardware, likely focused on slightly prettier graphics, really represent a meaningful upgrade over existing consoles? Thankfully, our concerns were not totally warranted. Xbox Series X, the most expensive and powerful of Microsoft's two next-gen consoles, feels like a meaningful step up on its predecessor. This is a console that's clearly focused on building upon existing conventions instead of reinventing them. But that's resulted in a machine that feels refined and elegant in ways in which previous console transitions, which have often thrown the baby out with the bathwater, have not. Series X, with its matte black, chimney-like design, is designed to live silently under your television and quickly deliver the best versions of both the games you already own and the blockbuster multi-platform releases of the future. However, at launch, Series X's stock lies mostly in its potential, and that's not necessarily enough to justify a purchase. You could say the same thing about most console launches, of course, but the difference here is that Microsoft simply does not have any meaningful launch exclusive games to speak of, and it's reliant on its impressive backwards compatibility features to satisfy early adopters. If the prospect of picking up your existing library, or indeed a brand new one via Game Pass, with rocket-powered performance doesn't sound compelling enough to spend $500, then you might want to wait for the inevitable avalanche of exclusive software content to arrive, once Microsoft's exciting roster of first-party studios get to grips with the new hardware. Booting up Series X for the first time is an experience unlike any previous Xbox. In fact, it's a lot more like purchasing a new gaming PC rather than a console. Unlike past generations, which often greeted users with an unfamiliar and bare user interface, Xbox Series X's UI is virtually identical to what's included on the previous machine, and it's not exactly empty either. Microsoft says it's tested every Xbox One title to ensure compatibility with the new machine, which means that booting up Series X for the first time will see a roster of familiar games and blockbusters fill the screen. Microsoft deserves praise for the incredible effort it's gone to ensuring near flawless backwards compatibility on Xbox Series X. Within minutes of starting the console for the first time, we had more than 20 of our digitally owned Xbox One games, plus compatible Xbox 360 and Xbox titles, downloading into our library. This experience can even be true for those who are new to the Xbox ecosystem, thanks to the much lauded Game Pass service. At launch, the 100 plus titles included with the subscription are waiting to be added to your Series X library, including new titles such as Tetris Effect Connected and Gears Tactics. And just like upgrading your PC gaming rig, most of your older games will look and run significantly better than they did before. By default, legacy games such as The Witcher 3, Destiny 2 and Call of Duty Warzone will load faster and implement a surprisingly effective HDR solution, while unlocked framerate titles such as Fallout 4 see their FPS more than double. But the real highlights here are the few games which have been specifically updated by their developers to take advantage of the increased power of Xbox Series X. At launch, several first and third party games including Gears 5, Sea of Thieves, Ori and the Will of the Wisps and Forza Horizon 4 have been optimised for the new console, and they all look and run fantastically. One downside of Series X's impressive backwards compatible support is that you'll quickly run out of storage space. The console's 1TB SSD offers blisteringly fast speeds, but only around 800GB for game storage, once space reserved for system features is taken into account. Microsoft offers a simple storage expansion via its 1TB Seagate cards, but at $200 or £200, they're not a cheap investment. Alongside the sheer compatibility of Series X, load times are by far its best feature. Xbox Velocity architecture is Microsoft's buzzword for its combination of a vastly improved CPU, high-speed SSD, and software integration which allows its next-gen console to load games significantly faster than previous hardware. On average, we found that legacy titles have had their load times halved, with Series X optimised titles benefiting even more. Sea of Thieves, for example, which has received a next-gen patch from developer Rare, now loads in around 20 seconds, an entire minute faster than Xbox One X. In online games such as Call of Duty Warzone, we even found ourselves in the amusing scenario where, as the only next-gen console player in our match, we'd appear in the pre-match lobby up to 10 seconds faster than everyone else, allowing us to get the jump on our opponents. The improvements to load times, faster CPU, and behind-the-scenes enhancement to input latency results in a machine that simply feels much better than the previous console. Even something as simple as navigating menus is a huge step up on Xbox Series X, with screens loading near instantly, allowing users to get to where they need and back into their game with little effort. And that brings us to another hallmark feature, Quick Resume. Microsoft's Velocity architecture allows users to quickly switch between games and resume exactly where they left off. It works brilliantly, allowing players to jump from one title to another in around 10 seconds. Within the Game Pass ecosystem, which often has subscribers trying out dozens of games at once, Quick Resume is a big addition to the feel of next-gen speed and responsiveness, and it's a big reason why Series X does feel like a significant upgrade over Xbox One. Returning to the last-gen machine, with its noisy fans and frustratingly sluggish menus, just isn't acceptable once you've experienced the elegance of an SSD console. Xbox Series X offers a very different next-gen console experience to PlayStation 5. While Sony is focusing on exclusive games, brand new features, and leaving more of the previous generation behind, Microsoft's machine is about building on convention and offering the smoothest transition possible towards the video game hits of the future. When you boot up your console this Christmas, all of your existing games will be there waiting for you, along with your game saves and achievements, and all of your existing controllers and accessories will work too. It's a convenient and compelling upgrade for existing Xbox users, while Game Pass continues to offer tremendous value for those looking to jump in for the first time. But unless the appeal of a new graphics card gets your endorphins firing, there might not be much desire to transition to Series X straight away. There's no doubt that at launch this is the ultimate console for playing legacy titles, with Xbox One games looking and feeling better than ever before. But the downside is the lack of exclusive content, which is definitely lackluster on day one. With Halo Infinite delayed into 2021, the only games you generally can't find anywhere else are Tetris Effect Connected and Bright Memory Infinite, and that's disappointing. A proper first-party launch title that took full advantage of Series X's 12 teraflops and SSD is definitely missed here. That said, there are plenty of multi-platform blockbusters that look fantastic on Series X at launch, such as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And there's no doubt that eventually, Xbox's exclusive software lineup will make it an essential purchase for core players. For now though, Series X is an excellent console with some next-gen features, waiting for the software that will truly take it to the next level.